Welcome to episode 147 of One on One with Mitch Lafon. Joining me this week from Queensrÿche is guitarist Michael Wilton. We talk about the new album Condition Hüman, an album that I've had a chance to hear. It's a throwback to classic Queensrÿche. Sounds great. The band is also on tour these days with the Scorpions. No co-host on this episode. Let us get right into Michael Wilton. Good day, sir. How are you?
I am doing fine. I'm in the lovely city of Seattle and just enjoying a day off after a show last night.
Yeah, so speaking of shows, you're coming to Montreal to with the Scorpions on September 19th. I'm very much looking forward to that. I will absolutely, definitely be there. Let's start there then. Talk to me about this upcoming Scorpions tour. They're on their 50th anniversary. One of the great bands of all time. It's got to be great opening up for one of those sort of iconic bands and at the same time plug your new album.
Well, yes, it's a great opportunity for Queensrÿche, and most of the guys in the band are avid Scorpions fans. They were a band that we listened to back in our formative years, and we all have our discographies of all the Scorpion records, and we can hardly wait to hear what their set list is going to entail.
Going out on this Scorpions tour, just real quick, your album comes out in October. The run is sort of mostly through September. Do you focus on the new tracks, or is it going to be sort of a more of the classic, Empire kind of stuff, and then we'll get to a proper tour after you're done with the Scorpions?
Well, we are doing the Scorpions tour along with some side dates in between because there are big gaps in the Scorpions touring schedule. So, yes, we'll be releasing some singles and videos. So we will eventually get those into the set. As far as the Scorpions set, we're kind of limited in the time that we're allowed. So we'll at least be able to sneak one new one in there. And but any of the other shows where we do a full 90-minute set, we'll be putting more new songs in.
So let's talk about Condition Hüman. The album was talked about last year. You started off a PledgeMusic campaign. Talk to me about that first. What's it like now, sort of being your own boss, where you can go to PledgeMusic and you don't have an AOR guy, you don't have a record company saying, "I don't think I hear a single. Got to change that." Is there a certain freedom to doing it this way?
Well, it's a great opportunity, but it's not a complete freedom, as these sites take a percentage of what goes into it. So,
which is fair. I mean, it's reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. But I think for bands, a site like PledgeMusic is a great opportunity if they have a fan base. You can get a project going, you can get a video or a tour startup, or pay for a bus or something. It's limitless what you can do, and you can just offer your own packaging, unique packages, and get the people that are most likely going to see you support you.
Yeah, as a band that's been around for nearly 30 years, or in fact more than 30 years at this point, was it scary doing it by Pledge, or is it a new excitement like, wow, we're renewed?
Well, for Pledge, I mean, me personally, I didn't really know anything about it. I had heard of one other site, so when this opportunity came, it was obviously a learning experience, and we had to see how it all worked. But I do have to say it was very successful for us, and we thank the fans, obviously, and everybody that supported the Pledge. And because it's about advertising and keeping everything current on there, keeping everybody interested, and the added bonus is that when you're on a Pledge site, on the home page, you're seeing all these other acts and bands that are doing their own pledges. And as someone that is curious, you tend to click other people's and compare and see what they have, and who knows. So you do get a little added exposure with PledgeMusic.
Condition Hüman, the new album, follow up to the first one that you did with Todd. Very well received, the first Queensrÿche album with Todd. Incredible momentum, lots of shows. The fan base seems re-energized. Were you nervous going into this one that for any reason you couldn't recapture the momentum, or it had to be better than the first one? Or is it just like, hey, we do what we do, and if fans like it, great, and if they don't, hey, we'll just make another one later?
Well, for me personally, I mean, I've been doing this for over 30 years and going from album to album. You know, Queensrÿche has always been about evolving with each album. So we have that in the mindset. Right. We don't want to repeat what we did. So we just, you know, wrote the songs and built them, and everybody kind of had a clear vision of where we wanted to go. And, you know, that's kind of been the Queensrÿche way. You know, we evolve with each album. And so regardless, we had a lot of time on the road to start writing the songs, the demos. And fortunately, the 2013 release, you know, granted us 2 years on the road. So we managed to put together, you know, quite a discography of demos. And then it was just about, you know, just seeing what we had and everybody working on them and getting them into, you know, song mode as far as arrangements.
Talk to me about the songwriting process. As a fan of Queensrÿche, and I've been a fan forever, and I've seen you 1,000 times. I even pledged on the PledgeMusic campaign for Condition Hüman. There was this perception that the former singer and Chris DeGarmo wrote a lot of the older material. First of all, is that a correct assumption? And if it is, how do you approach the songwriting going into the new album?
Well, for your first question, you know, my partner in crime, Chris DeGarmo, you know, had a lot of behind the scenes things.
Right.
And he and I were a great team, and we complemented each other. And basically, you know, it was all about being a band back then.
Right.
And, you know, Chris had a lot of ideas. I had a lot of ideas, and the other guys had a lot of ideas, and it's just all history now. So, I mean, that being said, it's, you know, we just keep moving on. This is Queensrÿche 2015. We've just finished our album, Condition Hüman. We're very proud of it.
Yep, sounds great.
You know, for probably the, you know, 50 or 60 interviews I've done for this, it's all been very well received. And, you know, it's going to be a great excitement when it's released October 2nd on Century Media Records.
Yeah, in fact, I've actually had a chance to hear it, and it really is one of the best records you've done in the entire discography. It really is tight. It's well put together, and as a fan, I have to thank you for that, because it's nice to know that your heroes are still making great music. Tell me a little bit about Todd. When you got him into the band, was he just on a trial basis? Was it sort of like, let's see what happens, and if it doesn't fly, we'll consider somebody else? Or did you sink in and just say, this is the guy, and let's hope it works?
Yeah, I mean, the way I view it, it was kind of miraculous in the way that how I met him and
right. How
I discovered that, you know, he could fit into our situation. And, you know, I don't know any other, you know, I don't like to think like that. I mean, we knew he was the one, and we just moved on and just said, you know, just do the best you can, represent the music. And lo and behold, you know, he's a dynamo, a great person, no ego, and he's easy to get along with. The fans love him, and he's a great musician, you know, and just a great asset for Queensrÿche.
He really is. A lot has been made about the lawsuits over the last couple of years, or that are now finished, and you retained the name. At any point during that, did you just want to say, forget it, let's just call it something else and let's just move on?
Me personally, no. I mean, look, the three of us are the guys that originally started this whole thing, right. You know, back when we were still or just out of high school. So you know, and it's duly noted, and you know that's very important to us, and that's why we wanted the name, because you know, we are the original Queensrÿche guys. So, and you know, as far as the outcome, it's always a bit of a give and take thing, and we know that, but we're very happy with the outcome, and happy that we have the Queensrÿche name, and to, you know, keep the fire going, and you know, tour the world, and bring Queensrÿche into 2015, 2016.
Looking back on the discography, there were certain albums like Dedicated to Chaos, Tribe, Take Cover, which was the covers album, that seemed a little distant to what Queensrÿche normally did, or what a fan might expect from Queensrÿche. Looking back at those albums, are you proud of them? And is it just part of what the band does? It explores and expands, or were they missteps?
You know, the way I view it, it's just history. Okay. You know, whether it was good or bad, or people think, you know, whatever they want. And me personally, I think there's nuggets on all those albums. But you know, we're just mainly concentrating on 2015 right now.
Okay. Then I do want to ask you about not the band, but the album Operation Mindcrime. It was recorded at Le Studio in Quebec, Canada. The studio now has gone bankrupt, and it's been vandalized, and the whole thing has gone terribly wrong. What do you remember about working at Le Studio?
Oh, that is so sad to hear. That was such a beautiful place. Yeah. And I think it was winter time when we were there, and I think Rush recorded there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was like a place, you know, obviously we're fans of Rush. Okay, but it was such a great place. The people were so nice, and it was really just technologically, you know, advantageous for what we needed. And it just set the mood, you know, it kind of set the mood for the whole Operation Mindcrime recording process. And it was just some great memories there. You know, those were great times, I have to say.
Yeah, it really was. And it's a shame that it's become what it's become. If you go to YouTube, you could look it up there. It was vandalized in June. It's left abandoned, you know, spray painted, torn apart. It's a bit of a sad thing. Last time we spoke, you were promoting a outfit or a band called Soul Bender. What's the current status of Soul Bender? Will there be more Soul Bender music?
Well, the door's always open for Soul Bender. It's just a matter of getting the gentlemen all together and getting them motivated. I mean, the ambition is there. It's just, you know, everybody's kind of situated in what they're doing, including me. Yeah, but I enjoy, you know, it's kind of a different situation with them, and it's kind of healthy, and the whole hanging with different musicians like that, and writing, and but you know, we're just so consumed with Queensrÿche right now. It's just, you know, I can't really give you know, the time for the side projects right now, and I'm hopefully, you know, I want to get them all done. I mean, I have a Ratchet Head project that I really want to finish, and you know, I've got some guys, and they're just being patient. You know, it's been kind of a chaotic, you know, few years. So yeah, I mean, those were all started, you know, back when I guess creativity was being stifled. So it had to go somewhere, and it went to those projects.
You know, it's funny because as we were speaking here, I get a sense that you really are focused on the future of Queensrÿche. You don't seem very interested in talking about much of the past, which is reasonable. What is the future of Queensrÿche? Will there be, for example, as you do these live shows, a live CD or DVDs to have for the fans to represent Todd's voice on the older material?
Well, I mean, we have all those options. I mean, we've filmed the first recording. We have all the film for this recording. We've had someone filming us on the whole European UK tour. We have all that at our disposal, you know, and we have plenty of live shows, even from, you know, a long time ago, that we now have. And it's just a matter of getting coordinated with everybody, and you got to have a record company that wants to do it. And then you got licensing issues if they were originally recorded on another record label. I mean, but we definitely have plenty of material, and we, it's just a matter of finding the time and, getting down to the editing, and it just takes a long time for all that.
Right. Is that something, though, you're interested in doing at some point, or is that one of those, call me in 10 years and we'll see where we're at?
No. I think this has got a lot of momentum, and we have somebody that's working with us, and it's just I think this has much more of a chance of coming to fruition than my side projects.
Oh, there you go. That's exciting. Now, again, you're focused on the future of Queensrÿche. The album comes out in October. Is there a plan for a third album down the road? As in, we'll do this. We'll do the run until September of next year, and then back in the studio for November of 2000. I mean, are you thinking that far ahead, or is it sort of like, well, let's just see how far we go with this, and then we'll talk?
Well, generally, I think the record companies want 2 years or maybe a year and a half. So. And look, on this 2013 release, we've toured 2 years on it. So there you go. So that's kind of the industry standard, right. And we'll see what we do. I mean, fortunately, we're a little bit more matured as a band, and so when we're on the road, we're writing. We've got our individual studios out there. 20 years ago, we'd probably all be getting wasted, but we don't do that anymore. So we write. So by the time we get off the road, we're compiling new ideas. And so it's just, we're just using our time better these days. And if the record company says it's time for another record, we'll have plenty of material, believe me.
I'm looking forward to that. Now, when Todd came into the band, you had a chance to go back in the catalog and play some of the songs you didn't play before. Was that motivating for you in terms of being able to change your set list and then getting into the studio for the first and then the second album saying, oh, yeah, I remember I played that. Let me try that again. I mean, was it fun?
Yeah. Going back in the discography and playing songs from, like The Warning, the
right.
EP, and Rage for Order. I mean, it's a blast. It's like going back and relearning my parts and just relearning everything, and just how we were in that mindset when we were so young. And it's really fun to play those live now, because so many people relate to them.
Right.
It's just, you see the looks on people's faces, and oh my gosh, I haven't heard that song since I was back in college. That kind of thing. And just relearning those songs. It's like Chris and I in the guitar parts. I mean, we built those songs to play live. And they just work live so well. So I mean, it's just an ongoing thing with the fans, and it's just we love it. We appreciate how everybody's always wanting to hear songs from the older albums, and older, I mean like the first 6 albums.
Yeah.
And we're doing that now. And now we're getting people screaming, play music from your new albums, play the new Queensrÿche. So it's kind of a perfect world and a perfect scenario for us.
It sounds as though you're in a good place and you're happy. When everything was going on with the former singer, how close were you to just breaking up and just saying, "That's it, we're done, we're going home"?
Well, I think you're looking at 3, 4 guys that are dedicated to the cause. We're musicians, and I think we're also kind of hopeful optimists.
Right.
That someday it's going to get better. And it just, things get to a point where no one's thinking the same anymore, and then that's when change is needed. just it's like being in a company that's kind of that needs. The stockbrokers are saying, "Hey, we need some new blood in here. We need something to get this thing going," and that's kind of our mindset.
Okay.
Me personally, I'm not a quitter. I'm more about I want to take this thing and build it and rebuild it and repair it and keep it going forever, because Queensrÿche is like a machine. It's an entity, and it's bigger than any one individual, and I think this name is just going to keep furrowing on, even maybe more than 10 years from now, hopefully.
Right. So as it was going on, you were thinking more, we need a renewal, not I'm going to go home. That's basically it.
No, I mean, nobody in the band won the lottery or anything. So it's like, this is what we do, and this is what we love to do. We just got to get the right situation, the right atmosphere. And I got to tell you, it wasn't easy. It's been pretty tough. And, but, it kind of makes it all better now, just realizing that you were right, and you were right in sticking with it. And, now things are starting to really open up for the band. It's the doors are opening in the industry for us again. And it's really, a gratifying thing, actually.
Yeah, no, there's definitely something to be proud of there. You stuck it out, and you've put out 2 great albums. I'll be the first to say it. Queensrÿche and Condition Hüman are solid albums, and I'm glad I own them. So
well, thank you very much, Mitch. That's a great compliment, and I really appreciate that, actually.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in Montreal on September 19th. I shall be there. Michael, always a pleasure, and hey, keep bringing us great music. You've done it for 31 years now. Let's make it another 20 at least.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I'll go as long as I can. I've got my mentors out there, like Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, all those guys. It's like, if they can do it, I can do it, I guess.
God, yeah. There is no retirement age in music, right?
Exactly.
It's forever. God, how old is Keith now anyway? Like 74 or something?
It's insane to think that, yeah.
Hey, that's good. Good for the fans. Thank you, Michael. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, very good, Mitch. Talk to you later. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye now. There you have it, folks. My interview with Michael Wilton of Queensrÿche. The new album is Condition Hüman. The band is currently on tour with the Scorpions. Remember to head over to the iTunes store and find the One-on-One with Mitch Lafon podcast. If you can, leave it a positive review to help raise the profile within the iTunes store. And if you want to follow me online, you can head over to Facebook and find the One-on-One with Mitch Lafon page, or on Twitter, follow @Mitch Lafon. Thank you, folks. Back soon. Bye now.